Yeah, my background is a blue-collar background in Philadelphia in a neighborhood where row homes were, $4,000 or $5,000 row homes. We were very close to one another. We had baseball teams, we had a little league, we had pee-wee football. We had all of the community activities, so you got to know your neighbors very well. It was a background that I wouldn't trade because it gave me an exposure to a lot of people by being in a community, being in a neighborhood, growing up with all the same kids through elementary school, through junior high school. When I moved to a different neighborhood for high school and started to, for the first time, become more academically oriented and more individually oriented in sports. Whereas I'd always been involved in group sports. In high school, I got involved in individual sports and ran cross country. I have to attribute to cross country the first time when I started to get within myself and understand what discipline was about, what my goals would be in the future. And although I graduated in the fifth of my high school, I think there were only 2 students below me. My high school was so academically oriented that it still got me into college. And by the time I got to college on a running scholarship for cross country, I realized that it was time now to start reading. So I read my first book in college, and with the assistance of Cliff Notes, I became appreciative of English, the spoken language, the written language, started to read like crazy, and took a great interest in English. I became a triple major in English, political science, and in speech. I started to do some public speaking and debate. I traveled all over the country in debate in college. I went to Temple Law School just as I did undergraduate, so I spent 7 years at Temple. And it was a blue-collar environment. Most of the district attorneys that were in Philadelphia, or the judges, grew out of the Temple climate. College was a very critical point for me, and the decision to go to law school clearly arose from my decision to try to help people who have been wronged.